Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I want to discuss GRINDR's newest feature, which is the Right Now tab. With all these apps, like hookup apps, dating apps, they always have multiple tabs once you sign into the app, right? So there's like a browsing tab for an app like GRINDR. That would be the grid system where you see all the nearby profiles, right? Then, of course, you have the tab that's for DMs, direct messages, guys that you're talking to. But GRINDR introduced this new tab now, which is all about looking for fun right now. What's interesting about this is most people think of GRINDR as a hookup app, right? Like, we all know that that's what most people use GRINDR for. And listen, I've had some amazing dates, like true dates from GRINDR. It's possible, but let's face it, GRINDR at the end of the day is an instant gratification oriented hookup app. So for them to lean into this idea of the right now is peculiar to me. Like in my mind, GRINDR is already very right now oriented. So why create this? So the way it works is you can select the right now status. And by doing that, you'll have this icon appearing on your profile that's indicating you're looking for fun right at that moment. And then you'll also show up on this other tab, the Right Now tab, which is basically just a feed of all these people, all these users on the app saying, let's do this right now. The other thing I noticed is you can sort of like attach an image to that status. So if you hover over somebody's profile who has the Right Now status selected, they can highlight a photo for you to see. From what I've noticed, it doesn't seem to be explicit friendly. It still has to follow GRINDR's guidelines of any public image on your profile has to be PG-13, we'll say. But my first instinct was, oh, this feels very Sniffies coded to highlight an image to get somebody's attention for right now. Which brings me to my conclusion that GRINDR, I think, feels like it now has to really compete with Sniffies, the web-based hookup platform that is taking the gays by storm. I've talked about Sniffies before and how it is as an app. That video that I made, by the way, about a year ago is one of the most viewed videos ever on my channel. And I was shocked by that because I've only ever heard like 2 people talk about Sniffies in my personal life, meaning gay men. But I guess there's a whole underbelly community of people who must use Sniffies or have heard about it as well. I think GRINDR is like looking behind them, in the race. It's like they're looking behind them like, oh shit, like Sniffies is catching up. And when I actually looked up images of Sniffies for this video, I discovered that Sniffies recently, at the time of this video that I'm making, Sniffies recently snuck into the App Store. For the first time ever, they were able to make it into the App Store despite how scandalous it is as a platform because you can have nude photos there as your profile picture. It found a way to sneak into the App Store. Now, that being said, I then searched for Sniffies in the App Store because I was in complete disbelief that that was possible. Turns out they already got kicked out, which I'm not surprised by. But if they were able to get in and they changed certain features of the app to be able to follow the guidelines of the App Store, even if just temporarily, that means they're going to come back. And they're here to give GRINDR a run for its money, honey. Sniffies knows what's up. GRINDR is a publicly traded company now on the stock market, and Sniffies wants a piece of the pie, I'm sure. Truth be told, if Sniffies cleans up its act so that it's not like GRINDR on steroids, it could be very healthy competition for GRINDR because I will tell you, I did check out Sniffies for that video that I mentioned a year ago for research purposes. It's not for me, okay, at least how Sniffies is today. But what was neat about Sniffies was that instead of the grid system you see on GRINDR, where, yeah, the next profile over that person is the closest person to you distance wise out of everybody on the grid system, but you don't really know how far they are. Even if you see like 700 feet away, 3,000 feet away, it's kind of hard to conceptualize what that actually means, at least for me. Maybe I'm just not good with distances and numbers. But the difference with Sniffies is it shows you a map, kind of like Google Maps. So you get a much more concrete and visual idea of like, oh, that guy's 3 blocks away. But there's absolutely no way that Sniffies can make its way into the App Store, as long as people can have nude photos as their profile pictures. It's just too controversial. It turns out the way they got into the App Store, I did some research on this, they disabled that for the app, which is interesting. So the web version continues to have the nudity in profile pictures, but temporarily, I guess the app that was up in the App Store, you couldn't see those profile pictures. So Sniffies is trying. They're going to find a way to enter the App Store again, I'm sure. By the way, what a stupid name, Sniffies. It sounds like a tissue brand, like Kleenex. Like, who on earth comes up with these names? Like Grinder also is kind of a strange name, but I feel like it's now culturally normalized. I will say Grinder sticks out as a name. It's unique enough. Uh, Scruff was cute. Scruff was a cute name. Does anybody actually still use Scruff? I don't know. It's like the same app as Grinder, but just I think hairy guys. I suppose. So going back to the right now tab on Grinder, this new feature. First off, I want to know if any of you guys have used it and what you think of it if you're active on Grinder. Just like Sniffies, it's not my thing. I'm more like read between the lines, less is more kind of approach. We know what most people use Grinder for. I don't need somebody flagging, I'm looking right now. For me, that's a turnoff because that's a sign of somebody who's really instant gratification oriented. And I just get turned off by people who are like, I don't know, openly promiscuous. Like, we get it. You're on a hookup app. To me, it's a lot. It's a lot to showcase that and to be on this like feed literally of people posting every 5 minutes like, yes, I'm looking right now, this is what I'm looking for. I would rather engage with somebody a little bit more and get an idea of like, are they sane, do they seem healthy? That's just me. So I will say in that sense it helps me weed out guys who I'm not into, and those guys might feel like they're also weeding out guys like me who I guess otherwise would be a waste of time for them if they're looking for right now, like literally in the next 5 minutes. But again, all these features that are so intense in terms of pushing the narrative of promiscuity among gay men. A part of me is like, this is give the people what they want. This is what they want. Give them what they want. Sniffies is taking off, in the background. Grinder, do your thing. But another part of me is always like a little bit cringing at how sex forward not just these apps are, but they keep kind of accelerating that pace, and that concerns me. Okay, maybe I'm a grandpa here, but as somebody who grew up in the 90s thinking that like every other gay man, had HIV, I'm just always thinking about what the cultural ramifications are of really leaning into these features that these apps are purely doing for monetary gain, right? They want to keep users in the app to impress investors, to make more money off of the subscriptions and stuff like that. It's all a business, but what are the cultural ramifications, particularly the mental effect on gay men? These are the questions I want to leave you with. Let me know in the comments your thoughts as always. Catch you next time.